This is One Sentence News, a daily podcast featuring 3 news stories with a sentence-long summary and 1 sentence of context apiece. I'm Colin Wright. This is a sponsored message. I've been using Anchor as my podcast host for a while now, and it's been a pleasure to use. Anchor offers benefits that most other hosts do not. It's free to use, but it also has a collection of tools that allow you to create a podcast completely within the Anchor website or smartphone app. They distribute your show to Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and all the other distribution channels without any additional effort on your part, and you can make money from your podcast without any minimum audience size. So you can use it as a more traditional podcast host like I do, but it's also got everything you need to start a podcast from scratch. If you're keen to give it a shot, download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started. It's Monday, November 21st, 2022. Let's talk about the news. From TechCrunch, India's first private rocket makes successful launch. India's National Space Agency has launched its first ever private company-built rocket, the Vikram-S, following years of investment in the country's space industry. The Vikram-S was developed by a 4-year-old Indian startup called Skyroot Aerospace, which has benefited from recent policy changes that allow the nation's space agency to work with private companies on such projects, similar to how NASA works with an array of US-based companies like SpaceX for the same. All systems on the Vikram-S reportedly functioned as intended, and the Indian government is spinning up new legislation that will incentivize more investment in such companies moving forward. From Axios, suspect identified in Club Q shooting that killed 5 and injured 18. A 22-year-old man has been identified as the gunman in a shooting at an LGBTQ nightclub in Colorado Springs that left at least 5 people dead and at least 18 people wounded. The gunman was relatively quickly subdued by clubgoers, and though there's still a lot we don't know at this point about why this person did what they did, law enforcement is investigating and currently treating it as a hate-motivated attack. Possibly playing into that assumption of motive is the fact that Colorado Springs is home to a large number of Christian groups that openly denounce homosexuality and at times tacitly or overtly encourage violence toward LGBTQ-aligned people and organizations. And from the New York Times, Garland names special counsel for Trump inquiries. U.S. Attorney General Merrick Garland has appointed a special counsel to step in and oversee 2 ongoing criminal investigations into former President Donald Trump. These investigations have been looking into the former president's role in the events that led up to the January 6th attack on the U.S. Capitol building, alongside his seeming decision to take sensitive and classified government documents back to his home in Florida when he left office. The special counsel, Jack Smith, has a good reputation for this type of work and is a registered independent, and he's reportedly been tasked with these cases so that the investigations can continue without there seeming to be any politically motivated bias involved, as Trump steps back into the political fray, intending to run for president again in 2024. If you're finding some value in One Sentence News, consider leaving a quick review wherever you get your podcasts and/or sharing the show with a friend. You can find out more about this show or subscribe to the email version at onesentencenews.com, and you can support this and other related projects like the Let's Know Things and Brain Lenses podcasts at understandery.com.